This is your 420 Radio News for Monday, May 5th, 2014. I'm Russ Belville. Support for medical marijuana in Florida ranges from 80 to 93%, according to the latest Quinnipiac Poll. Overall, 88% of Floridians support, quote, allowing adults in Florida to legally use marijuana for medical purposes if their doctor prescribes it, with the lowest support at 80% among Republicans and the second highest support at 93% among Democrats. No gender, age, or racial demographic showed less than 84%. Florida's Question 2 is a constitutional amendment legalizing medical marijuana in November that requires 60% of the vote. Additionally, 53% of Floridians support, quote, allowing adults in Florida to legally possess small amounts of marijuana for personal use, end quote, with women's support 10 points behind men's and only 1/3 of Republicans and seniors in support. 45% of Floridians admit to having tried marijuana themselves, but 82% agree with the president that marijuana is no more harmful than alcohol, and 54% do not believe that marijuana is a gateway drug. Speaking of Florida, a quick correction. Florida's legislature has approved a CBD-only bill by 111-7 in the House and 30-9 in the Senate. Governor Rick Scott has said he will sign the bill when it reaches his desk. Last week, we had reported Florida was racing Iowa and Missouri, whose legislatures also have passed CBD-only bills, to become the 6th CBD-only state. We regret our error, as currently there are 5 CBD-only states, Alabama, Kentucky, Utah, Mississippi, and Wisconsin, and we had misidentified South Carolina in place of Kentucky. The bills in South Carolina, Iowa, Missouri, and Florida still await governor's signature and could leave us with 9 CBD-only states, along with 21 whole plant medical marijuana states by the end of the week. The Drug Enforcement Administration, or DEA, has given approval for the production of 30 times more government-grown marijuana than previously allotted for 2014. According to the DEA, the National Institutes on Drug Abuse, or NIDA, notified the DEA that it required additional supplies of marijuana to be manufactured in 2014 to provide for current and anticipated research efforts involving marijuana, end quote. The DEA agreed that the quota should be increased from 21 kilograms to 650 kilograms, quote, in order to provide a continuous and uninterrupted supply of marijuana in support of DEA-registered researchers who were approved by the federal government to utilize marijuana in their research protocols, end quote. Trials involving medical marijuana and post-traumatic stress, multiple sclerosis, and epilepsy are underway. GW Pharmaceuticals, a British drug firm, is working through FDA trials on Sativex, a balanced THC CBD spray, and Epidiolex, a CBD extract for treatment of epilepsy. 4 Americans also receive a tin of government marijuana for medicinal purposes, though the 2 in Iowa are currently in danger of falling out of the now closed federal medical marijuana program as they have lost their recommending doctor. Congressman Earl Blumenauer gave the keynote address at this year's Global Cannabis March in Portland's Pioneer Courthouse Square. Representative Blumenauer called on Oregon to be a leader of states in legalization, as it was in 1973, when it became the first state to decriminalize marijuana possession. Representative Blumenauer told of a teetotaler legislative colleague from the 1970s that compared a carton of smokes, a fifth of Jack Daniels, and a joint, asking why the ones that killed you were illegal and the one that never killed anyone is a crime. Representative Blumenauer said the political wisdom at the time was, quote, if the 19 votes we got were joined by those legislators who voted no but smoked dope, we'd have been the first state to legalize way back then, end quote. Representative Blumenauer also called for removing marijuana from Schedule 1 so researchers could better study its medical applications. Uruguay released its rules today for commercial marijuana, and as legalization goes, there are restrictions many consumers would not appreciate. The government will be in complete control of marijuana from seed to sale, emulating the Colorado program of barcoding plants. But Uruguay takes it to a whole new level by only producing 5 varieties of cannabis that will be genetically identified and sold in radio frequency tagged bags. Anyone caught in possession of marijuana not in an RFID tagged bag will have it inspected by authorities, and if it is not one of the 5 government varieties, criminal penalties will apply. The 5 varieties also will be less than 15% THC, and the people buying it from government stores must be registered with the government, supply their fingerprint for every purchase, and are limited to 10 grams per week. But hey, it only costs $1 a gram. This has been your 420 Radio News for Monday, May 5th, 2014. I'm Russ Belville. Transcripts of 420 Radio News are available at our website at 420radio.org. When we come back, we'll go behind the headlines and take a look at Christine Tatum's complaints about the poor customer service at Lowe's and why she'd rather have that than a marijuana smoker with a job. You're listening to The Russ Belville Show on 420radio.org. We'll be right back.